Hello there, Board Game Maniacs, and thanks for joining me for this kind of showcase video. This is a project that I've been working on for a little time now for an upcoming apocalypse Fallout theme campaign for the role-playing game that we're going to be playing into the new year. Now, I'm still working on this. This is a work in progress, but I have a lot of it finished, and I just thought I would like to share this with you because as of now, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I wanted it to be universal so you can play it not just in Fallout, but in other games too as well. I also wanted to play in, again, Fallout. And also, I wanted it to be very modular so I can build pretty much anything. And when I say anything, I mean any configuration that can go along with this size of board that I built. So let's go in for a little closer look at this vault style slash any kind of building, I guess. Anyhow, let's go in a little closer. You can see here, this is kind of like the entrance of what I just set up just for the video. And this big, long hall corridor such as this. And also too as well, I got a couple of interesting things here. I'm just gonna go a little swing over. Woo. So this is kind of like a building compartment where they got a toolbox and another thing containing parts and an old cryogenic chamber. And you can see there's a patrol knight in here. What's really cool is I added a couple of embellishments, I guess, just for some detail. If I can get in focus there. There you go. So you can see there's some fuse panels there, wiring and some signs too as well. And we got the rivets for the walls. And if you come over this side, this wall is plain. These are double-sided the walls. You can see there's a cursor there, and you got a couple other figures. And you can see some posters there. Poster onto the right is Nuka Girl for Nuka Call of Fallout. The one on the left is the Flying Graysons from Batman DC. So again, I made it just more versatile so that I could play pretty much anything. Pretty interesting. Pretty much all the terrain was scratch built too as well, the scatter terrain. So you can see here, this is kind of like a barracks. It's got a stove. I didn't actually build that one. That was given to me. I built the beds. You can see this is the quarters for them to rest. And if I swing around here, a refrigerator, which was given to me, and a TV and the dresser. And we have one of the night patrols waiting for somebody to come around the corner there. So pretty cool. I kind of grind up all the walls, made them all rusty looking and, dirty, because this has been built for a while and it is well lived in. I even for this configuration put in a single toilet, which is just kind of like where the officers would kind of sleep in, I guess. The accommodations for the officers or the people who are in charge of the facility, I guess, because there's only 3 beds there. You can see there it's a refrigerator again. And here's another kind of little compartment that you can work on, a toolbox. Got a fuse panel that is on the wall there too as well. And then you have here, which is the bathroom situation. No walls, no stalls, it's just open so everybody can see everybody. And you have one of the institutes in there waiting. Interesting. And also here's another configuration. This here is kind of like the main cryogenic chamber with all the cryopods in, the old early cryopods, I should say. And again, I just found posters off the internet, printed them off, and I Mod Podged them to the wall to give it kind of more of that specific look. Another fuse panel right here, and it has warning high voltage sign beside it, and a computer station with a scientist. So, and there's another night patrol for Brotherhood of Steel. So yeah, that is it. But the good thing about this is it's very modular, so you can change it up whatever way you want. An example is this here wall here. Just say you want a more open concept, just take it out, and you got such a larger room. Or you can make a big corridor with rooms on either side. like the possibilities are endless. I'm probably going to build a lot more of these walls in the future, just so that I can fill out a more larger board, maybe like a 6x4 board, I should say. What else can I say about this besides that it's modular? And it's all, yes, what material I use for constructing this? Pretty simple. I use just wood that you got from the dollar store. Let me grab this here wall just to, whoops, just to show you. So popsicle stick, like the big tongue depressors for the base, so it's more stable. These are like diamond, fake plastic diamond studs that I got from the dollar store. I thought they would be really cool for rivets. And the outer perimeter of the wall, just to dress it up a little bit, I used some coffee stir sticks that I also got at the dollar store. Can you hear and relate to what is like the theme here? This is like mostly dollar store that I use for building it. So just put that back in place. Oh, one other thing too as well, with these tongue depressor too as well, I left the width on each side of what the tongue depressor is. And the reason why, because then you can butt them up. So you can see there, I can kind of butt it up so it kind of tucks in nice and tight there. And you don't have the popsicle tongue depressors hitting each other and limiting to the way you want to arrange the wall, which is pretty cool. I like that idea. Now, I went through a lot of different configurations and how I should build the wall and link it together. Like, I originally thought that I was going to make this into like this huge sheet of magnet plating, I should say. And then I was going to magnetize each of the walls underneath so that we could just snap them together. But that would be very expensive, not very cost effective, because again, you can see it take a lot of magnets for that. Also too, as well as I decided just, you know, that's why you can see like this here is kind of bumped up. I didn't finish painting. Again, this is still a work in progress. But I put magnet strips along there and magnet strips along the other wall, and then another magnet would just kind of cat corner it and it would hold them together. I tried that, and the magnets I had weren't strong enough. I bought them at the dollar store, so they're not meant to be super strong and hold. I know I could probably go back and get other stronger magnets at a different store. It costs a little bit more money, and that would hold it together too as well. I tried that, and I also tried Legos. That's right, Legos, pretty simple. What I did with the Legos is I took this single row of Legos. You can see this here's a good example. This wall, I got to repaint it. And that one there you can see. And what I did is I glued the Legos along here and Legos along the tops of each wall. And then when I put them together, I take another Lego and I just put them together and it connects it. And it did make it kind of sturdy, but the problem is not all the walls are super square, and I didn't, again, this was a prototype that I'm still trying to work on. I'd have to square up the walls where the Lego effect will actually work, because it did work to a point, but again, from where I didn't square up all the walls properly and some of the wood was warped. I didn't want to have to go run to the dollar store, buy more wood, because you can see here like that there is pretty warped. Even though it's on an angle, it's still kind of bent a little bit. But because of that, it's harder to fit the Legos onto it. So I kind of decided to go old school way, and that is by putting just the base on there and hot gluing it, and it seemed to work the best. Again, because this old surface is nice and smooth and level, because all this is it's like a hard board, I guess. I can't remember the name of it specifically, but I use it a lot in my builds for like bases, for scatter terrain and everything. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna do that, and it did work out very well. There's another shot of the door, tongue depressor, wires, the rivets, the dirt and the grime and everything else. So it was pretty simple to build. It was a little time consuming, especially putting all of the rivets onto the walls, because you have to put them on individually, and some you could pull off in strips and glue them down with super glue, but you know, you end up getting really messy. So that's what took me the longest, I guess, was putting the rivets on. The painting in that was pretty simple. Figuring it out was all very simplified, except for the point of just, you know, like, how am I going to connect it? That's why I tried like the magnets and then the Lego and everything else, and I eventually just went with putting the tongue depressors on the bottom as stands. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little showcase video of a work in progress for terrain that I'm building. Again, this is modular. I can make this as big as I want. Just build more walls. I do have a little bit of extra walls. Well, just doorways there. And you can see there, I think I have a total of 7 inches for each of these walls, and there's 18 of them if I'm not mistaken. And these are 3.5, I think. So pretty much I took one of these and I split it in 2 to make it a half one. And then, you know, just I used a scroll saw and I cut out the doorways. You could use it with a knife if you, but the wood from the dollar store is a little thick, so it would take you a little bit of time. And with the jigsaw, it's going to be bumping up and down, and it's not going to be as accurate. That's why I chose to use the scroll saw for that. It's a great little thing. My wife Shelly got it for me for our anniversary, and I said, hey, might as well use it to see what I can do. And that's what I did with the scroll saw, and it was really great. And again, this here, it's just painted spray bomb gray, and then, you know, distressed with some black wash, homemade black wash, I should say. These here, the Gen 1s, these are all made out of cardboard, foam, and wood. And I kind of made them bulky compared to like the specific Fallout ones. And the reason for that is because these are kind of like the Generation 1s where they just started discovering this new technology and so forth. But in my head, another thing is I wanted to make it so it didn't completely resemble the pods, because if I want to use this in a different game, you know, you could use it for pretty much any other game you want because of that fact. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want it to be like specific to one thing. Even though there's Fallout posters, there's Batman posters and everything else onto the walls, but you can use this in anything. And I really, really enjoyed making it. It was a lot of fun. It's a work in progress, so check it out. And in the new year, check out the role-playing games that is going to be released for Fallout Wasteland Warfare by Modifius Entertainment. And I'm probably going to be adding more and more to the Vault 2 as well, because I have to make a whole story build according to, because Brady's going to be the overseer, I think it's called, and he kind of developed this whole campaign that we're going to run through. So I had to make scattered terrain and other buildings and other like battle boards and everything to reflect what he did. But I kind of did it twofold for the point that I could do it for Fallout, but not make it all Fallout specific, like I said, so that I can use for anything else. Really, really long. This is supposed to be only a short video. I just want to keep rambling on about this because it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to build, and again, I'm still continuing building. So comment down below, let me know your thoughts onto this, and if you have any other ideas and what I should add to, like, for the vault, or even to, as well as if you built anything that you think would go great into this, and you know how to build it, or where you purchase it, or what have you, comment and let me know. Share a link with me so that I can go to it or watch your video if you built it, so I can add to it. And if I do, I'll be more than happy to give you credit for it at the beginning of the role-playing game for next year. But again, it is not scheduled to 2021 that we're going to play this in. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video and this little sneak peek. I'm a little under the weather. I got a head cold. You can hear me. So, all in all, let me know what you think. Comment below. And most importantly of all, and that is when you're playing games, that is, be a maniac. I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to keep up to date with Board Game Maniacs, click on the like and subscribe button to be notified when more videos come available. If you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, go to patreon.com/BoardGameManiacs. Or you can go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. That's right, and you can donate to help keep the lights on, keep food in our bellies, and play more games. We'll purchase more games, more equipment to make Board Game Maniacs evolve and get bigger and larger. Because of you, the viewers, I thank you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head for all of your support. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac.